Welcome to Grab Load. We have a couple products here that were announced this week. We got the Fairphone 6 Plus, and then we got the Framework Laptop 12. And I'll jump into each of those, but I'll start out with the Fairphone. Now, with the Fairphone, I'm going to jump over here to the website that they had, the little blog post, and they announced that this week. And they've been around for 16 years, but they're announcing the Fairphone Gen 6 Plus. And this is kind of interesting overall for me, right? Because if you've been other places around the world, right, you've been able to get this. Here in the United States, you've had to jump through some hoops to get it, and then sometimes it had everything you needed, sometimes it didn't. Here it seems like compatibility is going to be much better on this release in the United States because it's coming to the United States. Now, it's going to have the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. It's going to also have 12 gigs of DDR5, so phone's going to be worth a lot of money, right, with all the RAM it's going to have in it. There is a few things that I really like about this, right, this phone, and if you haven't figured it out, I like repairability. I like things to be able to be repaired, and being able to do that with the Fairphone makes it very interesting to me, and might be something I want to pick up at some point. If I had a little bit more cash, it'd be sooner than later, but we'll see when I actually get to it. Now, it has a up to 5-year warranty, software support through 2033. It's modular and repairable. It's got 12 user repairable and replaceable parts, 256 gigs on board, and it has a micro SD slot. Oh, that is so huge, in my opinion, to bring that back and have that. I would really enjoy that. Now, granted, if it wasn't, so much money to be able to upgrade and buy one of those right now to add more storage, but you start with 256. Maybe by the time prices come down and you need the storage, you'll be able to buy for a lot cheaper price, or maybe have one just lying around. It's got a triple camera system, 50 megapixel Sony Lida 700cc main camera, 6.3 OLED display, up to 53 hours of battery life on a single charge, and it's IP55 dust and water resistant. It's got some new colors, and if you already own a Gen 6, you can see there's some updates for you, new Fairphone gallery. There's a minimalist mode, but the big one is that it is a milestone. They're able to go and available now in the United States for the first time. Sustainability tech enthusiasts across the pond can purchase a fully unlocked Fairphone 6 along with the Fairbuds and Fairbuds XL through the dedicated US web shop. And the number of comments we see in our socials, this has been a long time coming, and I'm actually really excited about it. Like I said, I do want to pick one up. They're $649 for this phone, and they look pretty good. I like the way they look. Like I said, I wouldn't mind getting one there as well. I think that they're, while they're not the top line processor, I think to have something in here, and this would probably be, I have the Nothing phones. I like the Nothing phones a lot. Mine is someplace. Here it is. And it works good, right? I wouldn't mind getting something that I could replace stuff on easily. And I think everything's kind of like the T5 Torx in it. It's not the fastest, right? This phone will probably be faster, but being able to replace the parts, I think, would be a huge advantage overall as well. Now, it's not as simple as just sliding off the back cover and swapping the battery, but it's just a couple screws. Get that over. Still, it's like, if you're replacing the Framework battery, just, you plug it in, you're good to go. And I'm fine with that, right? You also get software support till 2033. I think that's a huge thing. 5-year warranty. It's got replaceable parts. And, yeah, this is one of those phones that if it was out, maybe a month or two ago, I probably would be recommending it to a couple people that needed an upgrade, right? They have protective cases, they got, different stuff, lanyards and stuff you can do, and since you got screws in the back, you can do some of that stuff. They have a lot of other things with this, with their company with sustainability and everything else. I think the big thing too is that it has that as well. My big thing is repairability, right? Being able to do that and being able to help a company out with that, because I think it's a pretty reasonable price considering where the market is, right? The market is crazy right now with the memory, with the AI stuff, and if you're able to have a phone in this price range that works, um, I've seen some other phones go up in price a lot, and the top of the line ones seem to be just keep going up and up and up. Now, if you're in the United States and you're worried about bans, let's see here. I thought this was up there, your carrier compatibility. Let's just go there. This is just the same page. Their carrier compatibility is AT&T is fully supported, T-Mobile is supported, Verizon is not whitelisted, not compatible. So just be careful with that. That means the your MVNOs, right? Just make sure that you know what those are. Those are partially supported on AT&T MVNOs, all supported on T-Mobile's. Verizon is not supported. So those are the limitations, right? The limitations here on the AT&T are no band 14 or band 39 and or 29 and 30. So just be aware of that. Also some VoIP stuff and some certain carrier features not available. On T-Mobile, the limitations are carrier aggregation features might not work. Well, on a lot of phones they're not, may or may not work. 5G standalone limitations, eSIM not supported, and emergency services and others. This stuff. I think this is kind of like on a lot of their phones if you have an unlocked phone. So that is there. But that is something that is just to be aware of there with that. And then you got something for the you have nothing working on Verizon. So they had a little bit about the regional or small carrier stuff, and that's just here. But I like that they have that out there, and I'm actually excited that they're bringing the Fairphone to you, the Fairphone 6 Gen or Fairphone Gen 6 Plus to the United States. There we go. This is pretty. I think it's pretty fun, and I hope that people will recognize it and maybe support it as well, because I think that their mission of what they've been trying to do, especially on the repairability side, is a good step forward. And I think that them breaking into such a competitive market like they have been able to withstand the Apples, the Samsungs of the world that sell so many more phones. I mean, we've seen other companies with phones not do as well and have to rebrand, have to try to get stuff up. Motorola, Nokia, Lenovo, LG, Sony, right? All these other companies, and here Fairphone is of how they built it, still, chugging along, and that's a good thing to see. So, let's jump over to the Framework side of things. Framework announced a new laptop 12, and they're jumping up to the Core Series 3. Actually, this is one now where where it kind of makes sense. The last gen, last 12 in the, what was it, the 13th gen processor, I wasn't really sold on. I would rather have seen like a Core Series 200 or something in there, but now this is Core Series 3, and so you got that little bit better performance. This is I believe Wildcat, which is based off of some of the Panther Lake stuff. So same in there. You get Thunderbolt 4, Wi-Fi 7. They also have pre-orders. I think this was announced yesterday or a couple days ago, 3 days ago now. So you can get pre-ordering it if you want. They have a couple other videos out there if you're curious, and it's nice to see, right? They came out. You can also upgrade, right, your current 12-inch to the newer platform if you want. So there's a lot of stuff there. And you get a little bit better battery life, they said on there here as well. What would they say? They're seeing the 18A process efficiency improves battery life, surface temperatures, and fan noise. In early testing, the Core 5 320, we're seeing a 7% increase in Netflix 4K streaming battery life over the 13 34U. So a pretty good increase, right? And I do like to see that that's another reason why I wanted to see that upgrade to get to the core series. My bad, there, stumbling over my words. Is because you get some of that benefit, and I think that is where a lot of these smaller laptops, when you have constraints on how much battery power you can have in there, can be able to go. Now, excuse me there. Now, one thing is certain is the price of this, right? And if we can, I'll get into that into a second here because I think they might have it. But remember, this is a 12-inch. It's probably very much going to be competing in that same area of the MacBook Neo. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this, right? They have the fingerprint reader built into the power button in both of those configurations. It's got a US backlit keyboard now as well. They learned that about 80% of the framework laptop 12s were running Linux, and so they've been working on that and improving it as well. And I actually don't mind, I wouldn't mind having one of these for my kids so that they could use it and have it and just have another computer like this as well. They did mention that they're also adding a range of distro partners like CachyOS and Bazite, which I want to try both of those distros as well. So I might be doing that here and see how they perform overall. But you get with what you're going to need a 7.1 kernel. They also have a new Linux page here, and I was taking a look at this. This actually keeps track of your compatibility for the 12th gen here of what you need. So you'll see that the kernel support of what you need for each of these, which is good to see. And this is just the 12. I wonder if I could do 13 if that just switches over. Yep, it does. And so you can see where they sit on all of these processors, which I like to see and like to have out there, right? So then if people are curious or wanting to go in, here's what I need. And Bazite's on a lot of these as well. And they also have community supportive stuff, and good job on the community throughout being able to do that. Now we're getting into some of the price here. With this, they are also going to start at $699. So the DIY edition is going to be at $499, and if you want Linux, right, you don't have to pay for that Windows license that is so expensive and going up in price, I guess. That was a separate article. Maybe we'll cover it in the Tony Tech Topics this week. But you get, if you pre-order today, this is where it's going to start, $699, which I think the Neo was close to that. Let me check there. I know they increased the price, but I don't remember what to. And if because it was at what, yeah, it's $699 now for the Neo. So same price for this versus the Neo, and that really puts this into a, hey, this is, I think, going to be a much better option. They have a pre-order of $549. Let's just do the color that people should use, which is green, and then you just do the Core 304. I mean, if you jump up to a little bit more powerful Core 5 320, that's going to be another 230 on there. And then you want SSD, which, wait. This is the DIY. Let's do pre-built. Pre-built's in Sage anyway, so it's the one. Now you can get last gen for $499 in DIY if this even works. I think it's just reloading over and over again. Well, we said it was going to be $699. I know this worked yesterday. Let's just try to reload it. Let's just do pre-built. No, it's broken. Oh, let's try this once more. But for $699, right? I think that's the lowest processor. You get I'd like to see how much storage you would have gotten too, but this is broken right now. Uh, well, Framework will have to do that. But for a nice laptop that's competing entry, this is kind of where the entry level is for the Neos and stuff. Granted, you can get cheaper ones out there, right? Cheaper laptops and stuff. But this is going to be setting up where you don't have any of the junkware, adware on there either, unless you install Windows, and then it comes with stuff like that. But not everything else there. And this is one of those things where, like, I really do like seeing Framework continue to expand and work a little bit more in this arena, because then hopefully what will happen is that more and more people will want to um, actually jump in and be like, you know what, a repairable laptop like this would be something that I'm willing to jump into, willing to use, and willing to support a company that does this. It's a competitive product in the realm of things, competitive on performance and everything else. And that's one thing where we will have to see where it competes with the Neo and stuff, and hopefully it can do that. And if it can do that, then, hopefully it will then have people, moving in the right direction of what they're of what the devices are capable of, and being like, okay, I can move to a device that is repairable, is upgradable. So if I want something better in the future, I can just upgrade this. I can use it for a long time. I don't have to worry about replacing the whole thing year after year, or every couple of years when it dies or has a problem, or has a battery problem, or batteries degrade or anything else, or a battery gets puffy or expands and I have to do that. I can, as Framework upgrades things, I may want an upgrade and I can be able to do that. And I think that's one benefit to a lot of the Framework stuff that many other companies that might not have. So hopefully that is going to wrap it up for today. I've rambled on long enough, but these two products are interesting to me. The Fairphone is something I would get. The Framework 12 would be interesting, but I do like the 13s, right? I'm testing out the Framework Pro 13 right now. Hopefully those tests keep going well, and I I got the Framework 13 Pro's test done. I'm working on my wife's, and when that comes out, you guys have to thank her for, because I ran the test and I'm like, there's something up with the test that's not going right. There must be a parameter wrong. Yep, Windows is driving me crazy, because Windows is deciding to change things when it shouldn't have, because I ran a different test and it didn't matter. So what is Windows doing to me? It's frustrating to me, but Windows is being Windows, we'll put it that way. But I do want to appreciate all your support with this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon, as it really does help with the channel. Until next time, God bless.